How's it going? This is Frozen Finder here. Um, I didn't know anything to upload and I'm about to leave for a thing, so I thought I'd just record this. Um, so, instead of playing video games very recently, I do still play Binding of Isaac, and I have a few games on my computer here. Top quality recording, I'm recording on my phone. Um, but recently I've been playing D&D, and if, surprisingly a lot of people don't know what that is when I say D&D. D&D is Dungeons and Dragons. If you don't know what Dungeons and Dragons is, if you've seen quite a few movies, it's usually what the nerds will be playing, which is like, oh, I shoot lightning bolt at the dragon, and it's that kind of stereotype. That's what Dungeons and Dragons is, except for it's not really. That's overly stereotyped. Dungeons and Dragons is a tabletop game. Basically means it's not played with a board per se, but it's played on top of a tabletop. And the main point of the game is you're meant to it's a mixture of your own imagination and complete randomness. Now the randomness is chosen by these dice. Now there's many different dice. There's the D4, which is a triangle. I'll get a clearer one so you can see the numbers. A D4, which is a triangle. The number on top just determines what number you've rolled. There's a D6. Everyone's familiar with D6. D8, which is like a diamond. Hopefully I can edit that, but that just stopped recording randomly. So there's the diamond-shaped one. That's a D8. There's a two variants of the D10. One is a D10. That's the one on the left. The one on the right is a D100. Because it has tens instead of units on it. And when you roll a percentile roll, you'll roll both of these together, and just then I got 67. Then there's the D12, and obviously, last but not least, the D20. That's the most common dice that you'll hear about D&D. Now what happens is you use your imagination and you create your own character with a character sheet. I have an example of one here. Underneath my nerd stuff. This is for a friend of mine's that I'm the dungeon master for his game. This is what a character sheet looks like. Up here you put the character's name, their race, their class, and then you randomly roll for their personality. You have their stats and things, and that's what you play off. I'll put that back. That's what you play off. And you use your character and your mind to take your character and his personality. Take your character and their personality through adventures. It's a fantasy game. It's basically the original role-playing game. And yeah, so the randomness is determined by these dice. And this is the most common one because it's the most used. Because a dungeon master, which is the person who runs a game, will often ask you to roll this many times. For like, say, example, I want to know what your character sees. Can you please roll a perception check? So you roll the check. Natural one. You roll a check, and then you'll add your perception. If I can zoom in on it. Gotta do it with one hand. You add your perception modifier. Mine is +1. Because I rolled a natural one, that doesn't matter, because natural one is the worst possible roll, and your character's basically blind. But because of the randomness, you can get into a lot of funny situations. So that's why I play the game. Now, sadly, it's the most exciting thing in my life at the moment. The only things I'm really excited for are my partner coming over and D&D. The only things I look forward to. And it's just, it can get quite emotional. Not sad per se. When I say emotional, I don't mean sad. I mean emotional. Like all the different emotions. You can be very, very happy over D&D. You could be terrified, as I was recently. Well, my character was he had a sack over his head and he was led into a court which there was a massive dragon in, and he couldn't see anything, and then there was just lightning and my character was dead. And I was quite terrified then. I was shaking. like I was actually shaking, and then the dragon picked me up and brought me back to life. He did that to cure me of a disease. But I didn't know he was going to bring me back to life. I just thought my character was dead. This character I'd been playing on for weeks was dead. Just gone. And it can get quite emotional. Now I know it's a very nerdy thing, but basically I just wanted to make a video to upload to the channel for people to watch. So that was my very quick explanation of Dungeons and Dragons, and showing all the dice. These are my let me just read the packet. Teal with white frosted dice. These are my Caribbean blue with white frosted dice, and then these are my dark blue and white Nebula dice. These ones over here are my favourite looking. These are ones that are my favourite rolling. And then there's these. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching the video. You probably didn't, but hey, we don't all get what we want, do we? Especially when you click on my videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time.